Let's move on then, because Rishi Sunak and I believe Ben Wallace as well Rishi was on a plane over the weekend heading to the United States. He was en route to San Diego. He's looking forward to meeting Biden and also the Australian Prime Minister, outlining how we will defend our people and values for generations to come. Here's him meeting the Australian Prime Minister yesterday. And don't they look happy together? So what's this all about? Well, it's about AUKUS, of course. Now, to remind everybody what AUKUS is, it's this trilateral defence partnership between Australia, the UK and the United States. So the UK, the United States and Australia have agreed a landmark defence and security partnership will defend our shared interests around the world, is how it was reported a couple of years ago. This is what Boris Johnson said at the time. AUKUS will preserve security and stability around the world, will generate hundreds of highly skilled jobs as we level up. Now, the question is then, what was the Chinese response to this? Because clearly this is all about China and not about anything else. So AUKUS risks severely damaging regional peace and intensifying the arms race. Even the French were hacked off with it because, of course, this was all about submarines initially as the main part of AUKUS, but the French thought they had to deal with the Australians for submarines, and so they called it a real stab in the back. We'd established a relationship of trust. There's that word again with Australia. This trust has been betrayed. Now, what is Rishi announcing? He's announcing £5 billion of additional defence spending. £3 billion of that is going towards AUKUS, and the rest is going to other things, including £1.9 billion, Brian, to replenish ammunition stocks that we have handed over to Ukraine. Apparently, that is sufficient to replenish them. Of the new money, 1.98 billion will be spent this year and 2.97 billion next year. Well, there we go. At the same time, he has announced the new integrated defence review, which is taking place at the moment. In fact, that's going to be announced this afternoon in the House of Commons by James Cleverly, who, of course, is the Foreign Minister, not the Defence Minister, but apparently Ben Wallace is not available in Commons to do that. So Cleverly's doing it. Let's just remind ourselves what the integrated operating concept is about. It's about being offensive rather than defensive. So let's look at the actual language that was used. The central idea of the integrated operating concept is to drive the conditions and tempo of strategic activity rather than responding to the actions of others. So we've got to create the war. We don't defend ourselves from the war. It goes on. The old distinction between foreign and domestic defense is increasingly irrelevant. When fake news appears to originate not abroad but at home, it gains credibility and reach, stoking confusion, disagreement, division, and doubt in our societies. This has been particularly evident with significant uptake in disinformation and misinformation during the coronavirus crisis. So the enemy is not just abroad, it's also at home. Home is no longer a secure sanctuary, whence we may choose to launch interventions unhindered. Away is no longer a regional horizon, but a global one involving space and the electromagnetic spectrum. So the original integrated defense review was talking about hybrid warfare, about the perpetual warfare as well. We're going to double down on that notion. Now, the integrated review 23 sets out a number of additional priority areas. The creation, as of today, of a new National Protective Security Authority within MI5. And this is going to provide a wide range of UK businesses and other organizations with immediate access to expert security advice. So let's bring MI5 right into your company. Establish an economic defense initiative to strengthen the power of our sanctions enforcement. Doubling funding for government-wide China capabilities program, including investing in Mandarin language training and diplomatic China expertise. So in other words, it's not just Russia that's the problem. Now Britain's taking quite a positive view of China over the previous Tory administrations, but this current one shifting its position with respect to China. Setting up a new integrated security fund, which is going to replace the Conflict Security and Stability Fund. So that's going to be an interesting development as we watch it move forward. So that's what Rishi is up to in the United States today. I believe he's meeting Biden today, and we'll see what announcements come later on.
So nothing about peace and peaceful trade. It's
quite the opposite.
War and more war.
Yes. Okay, if you like what the UK column does, you'd like to support us, please head over to community.ukcolumn.org. There are options to help us out there. Very much appreciated. You could pick something up at the UK column shop, but please do share material you find on the various platforms.